I just wanted to start by saying that, Patricia, this has been a great couple of days, and you've done a fantastic job putting a great program together. Thank you. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Patrick Deavy. I am the VP for Strategy and Operations, and if you haven't met me, I'd love to meet you. I started back in May, so I am a very new member of the BCAN staff. And this is the leadership team up here, and there are some new faces and some old faces, and I think that's kind of the theme of the organization as far as the staff go. We have a lot of new faces. We have a lot of people who are veterans and have been around for a while. I've known you guys for a long time. So why are we sitting up here? Aren't you supposed to be talking to experts and things like that? Well, we're up here because it's been 20 years. And this organization has grown and changed and prospered in so many ways. And a lot of that is because of you. And we can't be thankful enough for that. And now we're looking at the next 20 years. What does that bring? What does this organization look like? Because as much as we want to find a cure, there are going to be new people every year. And we want this to be a welcoming space for them and a space where they can come and join us and continue to grow that audience and be helpful to everybody. So that's what we're going to kind of talk about today, where we're going and what we're excited about. So I'm going to start, since there are some new faces, with just some brief introductions. We have Rebecca Johnson, who is our VP for Research, Mary Margaret, our CEO, Mark Story, who is the VP for Marketing and Communications. We have Patricia Rios, who is the Director for Education and Advocacy, and of course Stephanie Chisholm, who is the Senior Advisor for Education and Advocacy. We do have two of the leadership team missing. That would be Christina Tedoso, who is the new VP for Development. If you haven't met her or talked to her, she wants to talk to you. She wants to hear your stories, because the more stories she has, the more money she can raise for this organization, the more we can do. And then the other person is Chris Menina, who is our VP for Finance and Administration. And you may not see him very often, but he ensures that the money you're helping to raise is being stewarded properly. So he is a great, important function within the organization, and that's the leadership team here. So I'm going to raise my glasses because I can no longer read up close. So the first question we have here for this group is, as you think about our mission and the future of BCAN, what have you heard or learned from our patient community that sticks in your mind? And I'm going to start because, again, I have the microphone. And I just want, if the staff would stand for me, the staff who are in the organization, yeah, the BCAN staff would stand for me. Everybody take a look around. Stay standing, please. What I am taking away from this time is that we, all this staff, all these people up here, are part of your care team. We may not be your doctors, we may not be in rooms with you, we may not be there day to day, but we work every day for you, and we think about you every day. Whether it's thinking about strategy and operations, whether it's making sure that research is being funded, whether it's engaging with you directly, whatever it is, I think your faces and your names are in our heads every day. So if you haven't met these guys, if you haven't met anybody up here yet, please introduce yourselves. We want to know you, and we want to know your thoughts and ideas, because we're part of your care team. And that's what I'm taking away. That's the mind frame I'm going into our next strategic planning session with, that we are part of your care team. So introduce yourself to these guys, and they should be introducing themselves to you as well. Thank you, guys. All right, so back to the people up here. As you think about our mission, these people here, and the future of BCAN, what have you heard or learned that it sticks in your mind? Rebecca, you want to start us?
Sure. Thanks, Patrick. I think one thing that has really stood out for me in this summit is talking about clinical trials and access to clinical trials and information about clinical trials. I think that there is an opportunity for Beacon to do more in that space, to make sure that you have the information about ongoing clinical trials in a way that is accessible, to do more about getting patients into the right clinical trials and how do we ensure that that is happening. And then once we have results from trials, making sure that that is accessible as well. And what does that mean for the way it might change your care? And can we arm you with that information to then take to your provider and have those conversations? So we do have our clinical trials dashboard, but there are more trials happening now than there were ever before. It's going to be a continuing need as Beacon moves into the future. Even with our own funded research, which is an initiative we're taking on right now to do better, to communicate about what we have learned and funded. So that's really what has stuck with me and what I hope to bring into the future.
Awesome, thank you. Do you want to go last? She always wants to go last. She wants to hear what everybody else says. You're up, Mark.
Thank you. My answer is a little bit different than Rebecca's. What I've learned is hope is never in short supply. I've gotten to know people who have faced very, very dire circumstances in their lives, but hope is never in short supply. You're hearing from medical professionals today and yesterday who are working so hard on the same thing we are, which is creating better todays and more tomorrows for bladder cancer patients and families. And Jim Scott, you're leaving. You're leaving, but you're in my remarks, Jim. Don't go yet. No, hope is never in short supply, and Jim Scott has been a member of the Beacon family for years and years and years. And he told me something yesterday that I've heard from him before, and because of the camaraderie and the family and what happens in these summits, he said to me, "Thank goodness I got cancer, because I got to know you all." And that's another takeaway for me, and thank you, Jim.
Patricia?
Well, first I want to thank all of you for spending the past 2 days with us and for sticking around till the very end. I also want to say how proud I was of everyone for using their mic for the questions. So thank you for doing that as well, because that will mean that we'll have a really good and rich recording, which will be available 2 to 3 weeks after today, so that we can listen to the conversations and the great talks that we had. So my answer to that question is, there's been a lot of progress in the field, but I feel that we are leaving with many unanswered questions. And that makes me think about, what role can Beacon play to answer those questions, so that next year, when we come together, we have some of those answers, if not all. And so I'm grateful that we have so many experts who are not only bright and talented, but who are putting a lot of thought into all these questions that need these answers. And I want to thank you for being patient, because I'm impatient just thinking about, I want the answers today. And so, but we know they'll come.
Stephanie.
Oh, you guys have taught me everything I know, and for that I'm very grateful. I hope that what I've learned from you all has been imparted to everybody so that they too can continue to listen and continue to project and meet your needs before you even know you have a need, because what one person might need might be what you need 5 years from now. You don't know. So we're working really hard to try to stay on top of it, and we appreciate the communication. So many of you I've known for 2 decades, which is really, truly incredible. I consider you all friends. Even the new people that have never been to a Beacon Summit before, welcome to the family that you never wanted to join. And we're glad you're here, and I hope that you feel support. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We have a limited amount of time, so I'm going to break these next 2 questions up over my colleagues instead of all of us answering. So Stephanie, Rebecca, oh, you didn't answer the question. No, you answer the question. Go, no, please. All right. So Stephanie, Rebecca, and Mary Margaret, what excites you about the future of Beacon and how we serve these patients?
Who wants to go first? I'll go first. It excites me. I have seen a lot in 20 years. When I came on board, there were few options. Sponsors were a third of the page. There were not a whole lot. There was not a lot out there. And we started making advances right away. First, it was getting veterans who were exposed to Agent Orange listed as a presumptive condition at advocacy meetings. That was a big deal. And then all of a sudden, the floodgates started to open as immunotherapies came on board. First one, and then another, and another. And then the antibody drug conjugates and targeted therapies and all of the understanding of ctDNA and all these wonderful products to help reduce the amount of surveillance. I think it's a really bright future. I just encourage you to keep watching the Beacon website because we keep trying to stay up to date with all of the advances as they happen so that you have the tools you need to make decisions going forward. That's really important.
Rebecca?
What excites me, and a big part of what brought me to Beacon 4+ years ago now, is the opportunity to bring the patient voice into research. And that continues to be one of Beacon's central tenets and mission. I think that there's now more need than ever with all of the new therapies coming online to find out what does that mean for patients long term? What are the outcomes? Which ones perform better? Which ones don't perform as well? And bringing that patient voice and perspective into the conversation and into research. And Beacon will continue to do that, whether it's through our own funding mechanisms or making sure that patients are part of other funders' research protocols as well.
Mary Margaret, you can answer both questions if you like.
Gosh, it's hard to put into words, but which is not a usual thing for me. I think what excites me the most, I saw you laugh, Mary Frances, that's not nice. What excites me the most is all of you, honestly. This is my second summit, and the opportunity to really learn and explore and understand is so meaningful. This work is about relationships, and it's about people. And it's a long road. It's not a journey, Beth. It's a long road. But I really feel there's such power and commitment and compassion in this community from all of you. The excitement of being together. As Patrick mentioned in the beginning, I said yesterday, we're about patients. That's why I came here. And I'm super proud that this team and the other staff that you see in the room, we really do think about you every day. We will be talking about you. Your ears will be ringing because we will be talking about you by name because your stories are so important to us. And it's the reason that we do the work that we do. I think, I was saying earlier, I think to the Fairing team, to Colleen and Greg, look how they were saying how amazing this was. And I was like, yeah, it's awesome. I came here 10 months ago and look at this organization and what we can do together. And I'm taking credit for something I didn't even build, but I know that there's so much more ahead of us with new therapies, with new partners on the clinical side, the research side, our commitment to each other, and the warmth and the kindness that you all have shown to each other. We are a powerhouse, and we are a powerhouse. And together, we will move from sort of the very small, amazing, punch above our weight group that we were, that Andrea and Diane built, sort of that garage business. And watch out, world, because here we come together, and we are going to make some significant progress, not in 20 years, not in 15 years, but in 5 years, we are going to make progress for all of us and all of those that are not in this room.
So we're going to get a little more granular here with this next question, and I'm going to turn to Mark, Patricia, and Mary Margaret again. I know. What's coming next year in 2026 that you're looking forward to at Beacon?
Am I first up?
You go for it, yeah.
I don't want my answer to be vanilla, but each and every single year we grow as an organization. We grow in terms of staff, we grow financially, and that means each and every single year we can expand the impact that we have on the bladder cancer community. We can help more people. We can reach more people. For the first time last year, we did a PSA campaign about blood in your urine is never normal. That was the first time, really, that we had a concerted effort to reach outside the Beacon community. What excites me, what gets me out of bed every single day is, where are we going today, and where are we going next?
And I just want to say, I've heard Mark say that 100 times, that he gets up every morning and thinks about how the work he's doing is going to have an impact on the disease and on the patients and the caregivers who are suffering from it. And you know, I've really tried to take that into my brain as well. Every day I get up, and what impact are we going to have today? Patricia?
So for next year, there's a couple of things that I'm looking forward to. One, what you'll hear is the report of our new faces survey, which many of you, if not all of you, have taken. We are
Not too late.
it closes November 1st. Yes, if you haven't taken the survey, still have time. Thank you for spending 45 minutes, maybe longer, in responding to the survey. That survey is going to allow us to better identify how we can serve you. What are those gaps in terms of education, resources, support? And so we look forward to be able to use that data to deploy new initiatives. Speaking of new initiatives, on your table you have these plastic holders that not only have the QR code to our evaluation for the summit, but also to volunteer opportunities. We need your help. I think I mentioned during the opening that we are a community of volunteers. We can't do this work alone, so we need you. Need your expertise, need your voice. We have opportunities around creating awareness, doing more advocacy work. Every day there's something that affects our care, whether it's cuts in research funding, changes in Medicare, Medicaid, and so we need to go and educate our representatives about the impact that this has on individuals. So we have a grassroots advocate program that we are launching, and we launched actually this fall, and we're going to start doing some training in next year. But we also need your help with creating awareness in your own communities. That may mean talking to your community provider, sharing a beacon flyer or the basics, and speaking about how that has made an impact in your life. And that is going to be part of our community patient advocate program. So there's lots of volunteer opportunities, and they're all listed there. We're here to answer questions, but I think what I'm also thinking about is also what can I take from the past 2 days in terms of what we can offer in the next 2 summits that are coming up. And I think you saw the dates on the screen for the Spring Summit, which will be in March. So I invite all of you to come back and join us in Baltimore, Maryland. If that date does not work for you, then we also have the opportunity for you to join us in San Diego in August, and we'll make those dates available on our website. So start saving those dates on your calendar, and stay tuned for many more things to come. I do say that we're here to serve you, so if there is a need, a gap, something that we need to know, we have an open door policy. Call, text, email, find us on social media. We're available.
Our emails are on the website. It's easy to find.
And on the program.
Yeah.
I'm just going to butt in real quick and say that I'm really excited to get started. Well, we've already started, but to get the strategic plan ironed out so that next time we see you, we're able to talk about where we're going and how we're going to get there, and what the vision for the next 5 years is. Mary Margaret?
I'm very excited about the strategic plan also. And I will say, too, just a little bit of an amendment on what Patrick just said. We will not be coming back and saying this is it. We will be gathering input along the way from all of you, from patients, providers, the whole community. This is a strategic plan for all of us. I think that's going to be critical in the work that we do. I'm very interested in how that also supports our growth. So our ground game growth that I talked about earlier this morning, how do we grow geographically to be able to provide opportunities and increase awareness to more people across the country in suburban, rural, urban settings, making sure that they have knowledge of Beacon. One of the big gaps, Daryl's nodding his head, one of the big gaps I've heard over the last couple days, it's not new, but how do we get to more providers? How do you sit and you hear the unfortunate news, you have bladder cancer, and the very next thing that happens is you get bladder cancer basics, right? You have a way of finding help. And as I was talking about earlier this morning, and knowing that you're not alone, right? You're not alone. So I think that expansion is going to be key for us moving forward. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also really excited about research with so many, as we've already said, so we're in a very different place than we were a few years ago in terms of therapies, and our work is going to change, right? Our work has to change because now instead of just one or two opportunities, there's several. And as the research changes and as the field changes, we want to be able to pivot and support you along that way as well, that front as well. And I would just want to echo what Patricia said. We do have an open door policy. As I mentioned earlier, I was late this morning because a survivor pulled me aside and said, I need to talk to you. He actually has left, but he really put a sharper focus for me on the ability to navigate clinical trials and what that really means. So we will be taking that back and looking into it, as well as finding opportunities to build the walks, build the fundraising so that we can continue to drive that virtuous cycle of, you can't fund the mission if you have no margin, right? So we need to continue to support that work in the communities and grow that way as well. There's so much. I could go on forever.
So we have a few minutes before we all skedaddle for questions. If you guys have questions for us or where we're going in the future, how we're looking at it. Oh, Stephanie and Patricia are going to go out, and I've got another microphone here, and field any people who have questions.
Yes, Jim.
I had practiced this morning. I just want to say thank you so much for a wonderful conference. Really good. And so much. Give it up. So one of the things that you do really well, valuable, is to put your clinicians on the, I'll just call it the hot seat, and somebody can ask any question that they want, right? Because they're the ones that are doing the science, they're the ones that are involved in patient care. And to me, that's just very valuable. What's over the horizon? So for example, if you want to buy a new camera or a car, you go to camerarumors.com, right? Or you go to carrumors.com because you want to know what's over the horizon. So I thank you for presenting that opportunity to have that look ahead a little bit. And whatever you can do to have beaconrumors.com, I'd be happy to see.
I love that.
Any other questions?
One towards the back. Did I see somebody raise their hand in the back?
Who has a question? Raise your hand.
Oh, maybe I didn't, sorry.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Or comments.
All right, well, we are here. Whether you want to email us or call us or talk to us right after this. We are here and we're not going anywhere. So,
So thank you. Before you all scoot off to where you started, before you came with us, would love to do a quick picture of all of our survivors, thrivers together. You want to come up here, and then we'll do some caregivers. Oh, Greg has a question. I'm sorry, Greg. Why don't you just yell?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment for the leadership team and the staff, and more importantly, for all of the patients and caregivers that are here. I've been doing the advocacy thing for a while in industry, but this is the first time that I have been involved with an organization like Beacon, where there is truly an authentic partnership on behalf of the people who need the solutions that we offer. And I want to thank the staff for being open to really exploring how we can work together as opposed to working separately, because we really are trying to get the same goal. And to the patients and caregivers, I'm a caregiver, but your voice is so important to guiding where we invest and where we spend our time and our resources. So thank you for being open to doing that. Just on behalf of industry, this is the most important thing that we need to consider, and we appreciate the collaboration.